This is the video that was captured when Luka Doncic heard a fan heckle him and did not appreciate what was said. Thus, he immediately turns to the refs to signal that a patron should be ejected. The Suns would go on to beat the Mavs 132-109. That fan, sporting a Devin Booker jersey, was spotted by ESPN's Tim McMahon, who would tweet, "Luka Doncic asked security to eject this Suns fan who was sitting 2 rows behind mid-court press row." The comment the fan made that drew Luka's wrath: "Luka, you're tired. Get your blank on the treadmill." In the post-game presser, Luka sparred with McMahon. Here was the back and forth.
Luka, what were you frustrated about at the end of the second quarter when you got that technical?
I know I saw you when you said about the fan, that was not a true all. That was not the only thing he said. But I knew you would be the first one to point out something like that. I'm not going to say what he said, but I knew you were going to be the first one to put out something like that. So I just saw it, man. It's just funny. He always seemed to be the first one to put some bad stuff about me.
First of all, 99% of the stuff I've written about you has been good.
I don't know.
I was sitting 2 rows behind us.
All right, so it was the only thing that time he said something, the only thing?
That was what you reacted to.
Yeah, I was hearing the whole first half, right? Oh, you didn't hear anything?
He was definitely hollering.
Okay, there we go.
Acted.
But you put out something that was just the only thing.
At this point, others in the press room attempted to step in, but the back and forth continued.
What was the final straw? What was the
issue?
What was the thing that...
It's not the issue. I'm just seeing you seems to be the first one to always put something bad about me.
Several of us actually tweeted that.
That's fine. It's all over.
Why did you ask for the fan to be ejected?
Because he was cursing me the whole first half too.
Why didn't you ask for him to be ejected in the first half then?
Because I never would eject a fan. They pay for tickets, but I had enough, It's a little bit of frustration.
Then another member of the media would ask a follow-up.
You turned your head and looked over at him after he said that. That's what we saw.
Yeah, that's fine. Be the bad guy in the media, right? It's all right.
Do you feel like you were fairly portrayed in the media?
No.
An interesting exchange. On the fan being ejected, Dwayne Raskin of AZ Central asked the Suns' Yusuf Nurkic on the incident.
When you see stuff like that, they're telling you they're out of their game.
Definitely. I mean, it's sad thing that they got to leave, but I just saw it. There's no one can be ready for picking on their whole game. There's nothing they can do.
When it comes to McMahon, there is a bit of a history with him and the Mavs organization. Mark Cuban would revoke the credentials of McMahon and Stein after the former reporter's title changed within ESPN. When asked for comment, the team declined, but Cuban offered this: "They're not banned from the building. They can still buy a ticket." Then Dallas head coach Jason Kidd got into it with McMahon in November of 2023.
What have you seen the difference in the dynamic, specifically with Luka and Kyrie when you're closing games?
I think maybe it's the things that you guys thought should have happened day one, is that they should be successful right off the bat. And it takes time. Failing is all right. It's not a bad thing to fail for a pro athlete, because you can get better and learn from it. And those two are the best in the world, and we feel very comfortable with those two having the ball. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't, but we learn from it, and I think they've answered that question from day one. As you just mentioned, they're one of the best, if not the best, in clutch time. But that was a big thing you guys wanted to make a big deal about last year. But you're not making a big deal about it this year, because shit's going good, right? So write some positive.
I just asked you a question.
And I'm giving you an answer. You guys, there's all right to write positive stuff. People will read your positive. You don't always have to be negative, right? It's just, the world's already negative enough, right? So let's see some positive stuff on some positive people that are doing their job on a nightly basis.
You guys are making it a lot easier to do that this year.
We already know the angle that so many are going to play, and the perspective that they are going to give, insights rather, which is, oh, Luka's just so soft. He's just so soft. Here's my question. Are you that dude that goes to a game and body shames a player or calls LeBron James a P word, or makes fun of his hairline, or says, yeah, that guy swallows. Is that you? Aren't we past this? I don't know. Like maybe it's, covering these games and going and, being in the press box, wherever it may be, or, being randomly seated at the United Center in odd places as a media member. But I feel like we're just like kind of over this, no? I mean, you could say almost whatever you like. Was this harmless? In comparison to many other things, sure. But at this point, if you are a 20-something-year-old, 30-something, 40-something-year-old, are we really like, you think you're making a difference? You really think you're making a difference? You think you yelling at an NBA player where the math of making it to the league is incredibly low is going to make a difference by saying that this player sucks? I don't know. I think I'm just over it. Maybe it comes with age. I used to laugh at the Favre Swallows comments at Old Soldier Field. I did. You know why? Because I was like 12. That was my first Bears game. Played the Packers. Got killed. Rain, snowed, and hailed that day. Excuse me. And I laughed. What's the point? Now, there's another part of this. Luka Doncic and Jason Kidd saying, write positive stories. You can't control the media, dude. You can't tell the media what to write and what to say. I understand. Do they want more positive coverage? Sure, maybe. If it aligns with the information that they are given, because as we know, a lot of this goes through sourcing, or it probably helps that the Mavericks win. That would certainly help. But to be objective and to stay neutral is not, you guys just poo-poo on us. That's weak, man. You know what that sounds? It sounds like certain politicians going after the media to try and discredit them. And with how combative public figures have been over the years, it has helped lead to a great, strained distrust within our media infrastructure. And it is piss poor. I know this is like Jason Kidd's thing, and he is probably upset because when his name came up for qualifications, his past was brought to light by saying, hey, here's the guy you're hiring, which is his own undoing, not the media's. So I understand that he likes to fire back. Totally fine. The media should be able to answer any of those bullets that he throws back, per se. But to say, stop being so negative, write positive stuff. Okay, give them something positive to write. Mavs are a good team. They're a fun team. They're a league pass team this year. But this approach is just weak. It's bad.